This is Brush by Hugh Hayden. It's made out of red oak and boar bristle hairs. It is reminiscent of a play structure in Duncanville where Hayden was raised called Kidsville. Kidsville was a park and playground built by the community. They raised the money themselves doing penny drives and fundraising, and they were able to come together and actually build the entire playground as a community with volunteer labor. These medieval style playgrounds were very popular when I was a kid, and there was one in my neighborhood. It was this massive, sprawling wooden apparatus that you could climb on endlessly because there were tons of nooks and crannies and places that you could hide, and you could be there all day. You did leave with many splinters, but it was the most fun place to be a kid. I think this piece was very important to Hugh because it represented to him this third space that people might gather. If the first place is home and the second place is school or work, the third place that people might gather is also a park or community space. And so to have a space in Duncanville that was so important to the community, that the community came together so fervently to build together and with so much love, I think it's really important for it to be a centerpiece of his show. He's made it out of these brushes as well to sort of allude to other third spaces like barbershops, but it's the only piece where the barrier to touch, the brush bristles, are actually soft. The rest of the barriers around are going to be sharp, spiky, painful to touch, but the bristles here are actually really, really soft, and we have a sample at the desk if visitors would like to touch that sample. So I was really lucky growing up here in Dallas. I still live in the house that I grew up in, and all of my neighbors are still in the area. So I have a really tight-knit, close community. We had a play structure like this in our local park, Kid Springs, and it was a really great place to be as a child. I think Dallas can be a unwelcoming place in certain areas, but if you find these small gems within the communities, Kessler Park, Lakewood, I know there are places all around where you can find that sense of really intimate community. Kidsville in particularly, I think, is a really beautiful example of how a community in Dallas can come together to protect itself, to celebrate itself, and to really focus on what can be one of the most important parts of the community, which is children. You want to make sure that your children feel safe, that they have a place to be creative and expressive and wild even. And so a place like Kidsville and the parks that I grew up in, they provide that. Dallas doesn't do a great job with parks. We could do better investing in our park infrastructure, making sure we had green space for the community, but the little places we had, you can see that the community really cares about them because they want that for their families and children. And so I think it's really special to have Kidsville in the gallery. I also am really excited to have someone from Duncanville in the gallery. Growing up, I came to the Nasher on field trips, I came to the DMA on field trips, and you didn't always see people like you in the galleries. You didn't always see artists who made work about your life in the galleries. This is me. I'm from South Dallas. I played on these structures. I know what this feels like. And to have someone from Duncanville who represents a community that I'm directly from in a space like this is magical and surreal, and it makes you so proud to be from South Dallas.